and we come to you live with some of our favorite people and personalities from around the blockchain, discuss today's trending crypto topics, as well as answer some of your most asked questions. A really good lineup for you guys today. We've got Crypto Wendy O, who recently tweeted out she does own $5 worth of SHIB and is now Lambo shopping. We've got Tom Crown, who just hit 40K subs, joining us again today, another crowd favorite, as well as CryptoFace, who I hear just opened a $9 million long on SHIB. So maybe we'll get into that a little bit more. Maybe it wasn't SHIB, maybe it was Bitcoin. As well as the one and only BitBoy Crypto, Ben Armstrong. You might see him on the Jumbotron cheering on the Braves. We're going to be out there some more this weekend. So chop on Braves. Let's go World Series. But before we get to any of that today, we're going to be talking about Shiba Inu hitting an all-time high. We've got MasterCard getting involved with crypto services, as well as is the Bitcoin rally over and is it altcoin season? So we're going to be jumping into some of those questions today, starting off with Shiba Inu. So Elon Musk came out and tweeted over the weekend that he doesn't hold any SHIB. This was just after it hitting an all-time high. We talked about it a little bit on this morning's live stream, that there was a 20% retrace that Cointelegraph was trying to attribute to the fact that he came out and said he didn't own any Shiba. Really, it was probably a natural consolidation based on it hitting an all-time high. I mean, it had a 500% pump since October, so it's doing very, very well. October is delivered across the board. We're seeing, good gains. But then, a lot of people in this space, it's kind of a controversial subject. Some people like Shiba Inu, some people don't. We talked about it a little bit this morning today. So, Ben, what is it that you find attractive about Shiba Inu? I know you said we don't hold any, but what is it? Why do you think it's positive for the space?
Well, I mean, dogs are good. I own 5 of them. I own more dogs than I own Shiba coins. We have 2 bulldogs, English bulldogs, and they are very rascally. They're always getting into trouble. They're getting in the trash can. They're like pooping in the house. They're on their own schedule. They do their own thing, and I think it's a very positive thing. Still would probably rather own those dogs than Shiba. So, no, I think, look, here's the thing. Shiba is drawing more people into crypto. We said this about Dogecoin. Like, look, Shiba is this half of this bull run's Dogecoin. I think that's what we're looking at here, right? Where in the first half of this bull run, so many people got pulled in through Dogecoin, and they came and they stood and they understand things. I will say this about Shiba. If your plan is to hold Shiba throughout the bear market and this is your long-term hold, you're a fool. Like, you are a really low IQ individual. If your plan is to buy Shiba, If your plan is to buy Shiba, buy SHIB, make some money with it, if you're holding it now and flip it into something else down the road, then that's a good, that's very successful. That's a plan that we use to get a lot of Bitcoin. Like, we hardly owned any Bitcoin. We owned a bunch of altcoins, and we flipped that into Bitcoin down the road. And I think that can be a positive strategy for people to use. At the end of the day, Shiba is not changing the world. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, Solana, maybe Polkadot. These are projects that will change the world. XRP will change the banking world. Shiba ain't changing no world, nowhere, no how. But can it make you money in the short term? Can it make you money for the rest of this bull run? Absolutely.
There you go. I think you said it well there. There's a lot of technologies out there to choose from, a lot of them doing some very monumental things, but there's still a lot of other projects that may not be, that you can still make money on, and that's up to each person to decide for themselves kind of what they're interested in. And as always, I forgot to mention, if you're new to the show here, you'll see in the bottom right-hand corner of each of the guests' box, there's a score icon there. If you like what you're hearing from any of the guests, drop a +1 in the chat. I'll know to give them a point, or a -1 in the chat, and we'll take one away. And if you have any questions for any of the guests that relate to the topics we're discussing today, you can drop those in the chat as well, and I'll try to work them in. So on that same thread, responding to Shiba Inu, we saw Elon Musk was referring to, they asked, why does he own Dogecoin? And he pretty much said, all out of the people that he talks to, a lot of people seem to own it. A lot of people seem to like it. So, Wendy, I wanted to hear from you. Why do you think it is that Elon Musk seems to like meme coins so much? It seems like that's all he really talks about for the most part. He's made some minor mentions of Bitcoin and Ethereum here and there, but seems to really key in on these meme coins. Do you think it's just for fun? Is he really trolling people? Or do you think he's just for the people and wants to see these community coins rise up?
Thank you for having me back on, guys. But Elon Musk probably has the biggest ego I've ever witnessed in my life. And I've been around people with massive egos, but he kind of takes the cake. I think that he gets off on controlling the market moving the market, manipulating the market. I mean, what man that has that type of wealth wouldn't find that appeasing? As far as him tweeting that, he knew what he was doing. Does he own Shiba? Possibly. Does it matter? No. But people are going to continue to buy it because it's immensely affordable. Coinbase has been pushing it on TikTok like crazy. Anytime I get an ad that pops up while I'm on TikTok, it is from Coinbase about Shiba.
Yeah, that's a good point. And I'm going to follow up with you, Wendy. Stay with you. Why do you think it is Coinbase is pushing it so hard? Do you think it's just simply they want people to trade it?
It's a marketing tactic. I mean, obviously they're getting paid. Like anytime somebody makes a trade on Coinbase, they make money, and they know who they're marketing to. They're marketing to a group of people who think that this is going to be the next big thing, which that's fine. I've got no issue with Shiba. I have no issue with any meme coins at all. Just as long as you're removing your initial investment and your profit and then taking those gains and compounding it into something else for a flip, kind of like what Ben was saying. But at the end of the day, guys, everybody thought Dogecoin was going to $1. It got close. It got to about 75 cents, and it didn't hit $1. So just as long as you're practicing risk management with it, have fun. But at the same time, just be really wary of what you see and what is marketed to you. And at the end of the day, be a mature, responsible adult and make your own choice.
Good advice. Real quick, we know, Ben, you've already stated you do not hold any SHIB. Wendy, we know you hold just a little bit. But I want to hear real quick from Tom and Face. Do either one of you guys, we'll start with Tom, do either one of you hold any SHIB at this point in time?
I sensed the SHIB train coming. I bought $100 worth October 1st. That's it.
Oh,
I'm not touching it after that. I got good timing. It was lucky. It was mostly luck.
hey, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. I say that all the time. So, or we'll take both. So, what about you, Crypto Face?
I think a lot of you guys are a bunch of haters. I'm definitely on Team SHIB. I allocated a pretty good amount. I'll take SHIB over Dogecoin any day. I feel like Dogecoin is kind of like the mainstream, like little wimpy kind of white white girls at dinners talking about it and shit. But Shiba is like Korean and Asian. And I think people that are in Shiba are more courageous because they took a shot on something new that was younger. And the gains are bigger. Everyone can talk. At the end of the day, it does the same shit that every other crypto, basically every other thing does besides smart contracts. I don't know if they have smart contracts, but at the end of the day, you can send money around the world really fast, and the price is going up. And it is changing the world. I've made over 30%. I've got 2/3 in of what I've allocated. I made 30% in a week. And man, the every day that goes by, the more I like it, and the more I like the people that are in it. I haven't really, I haven't really had any like salty haters from Shiba. I'm not saying that they're not out there, but I've had salty haters from like Hex. If I sell some Hex, they want to come after you and try to kill you. If you sell some whatever XRP, they want to come after you when they kill you. If I said I sold some Shiba, ain't no one come after trying to kill me yet. But yeah, at the end of the day, I mean, it's same stuff in crypto, but I'm on that, and it's still cheap right now, and just like any other crypto, you got to be safe and whatever. People murdered it with Dogecoin. Elon Musk, I think people overinflate his ego. I have to disagree with you a little bit, Wendy. The guy posts a meme and people go up in flames, and I mean, he's just posting a meme. Like I hear about when Elon makes a post, and I think that he like wrote something real serious, like, Bitcoin this, Bitcoin that, and Doge this and Doge that. It turns out it's like a meme with the dude laying with his wife and something stupid. So I don't think he's that, but I think there's people much worse, much bigger egos. And you know what I'd say? I think he has a pretty mellow reserve for being one of the richest people. You okay, buddy? Anyways, yeah. So, sorry, my dog was coughing.
No, that's a really good point. I mean, I will say to your point about the community, they are very fun-loving. They don't seem, like you said, they don't attack nearly as much as we've seen some of those other community-driven projects. So, and they're definitely loving what you said just now. A lot of Shiba lovers in the chat saying that, heck yeah.
I want to do a Samoyed coin. And so, is Shiba Korean? Do you know where Shiba came from?
I have no idea. You mean like the dog? I think you're muted, Ben.
I'm not muted.
No, Ben was. He was trying to say something. The dog is Japanese, right? Isn't the dog Japanese? Yeah. The Shiba Inu dog.
Shiba Inu. is how I go, Shiba, you. That's way better than Doge. So-
Hey, I'll give you that. So let me ask you this: based on that endorsement, you said you allocated a pretty good amount to it. It sounds like you think there's a little bit more room to run. I would assume, based on the fact that you put your money in there.
Yeah,
I think it
there's-
can shave
there's
another
a
zero
lot more.
potentially.
When I last time I was on here, I believe we were talking about it too. And it's the 12-hour was had the VWAP come. It was looking good, and it was kind of a misfire. It ended up kind of going down, and so I've been waiting. And 3 days ago, I fired off my other third. I'm like, I'm gonna do it. The price came down, and then boom, baby, I was able to get on that one. So I'm up like 30 or 40% on sheep, and I'm happy. And I like the community behind it and the people. So Doge sucks. I'm all Shiba, baby.
Well, there you go. So if you guys love Shiba Inu and you're watching this right now, smash a like in the chat, and then we'll help get this message out there to more other people. That's the single greatest thing you can do to help the channel and help the message of cryptocurrency is to like this video, so YouTube knows to show it to more people. And as I didn't mention at the top of the show, the links to all of the guests are in the description below, so be sure to go check out their channels as well. They all have really good insights to add. So we're going to shift gears here and talk a little bit about MasterCard, one of the biggest payment processors here in the United States and probably around the world, getting involved in cryptocurrency. They announced a partnership with Bakkt today, which actually, I think from what I heard, crashed the Bakkt services, is even having a hard time going on because they've got so much influx of interest and activity. But they're talking about bringing crypto services to anybody who interacts within the MasterCard network, which is millions of banks and users across the world. They're saying we're going to bring crypto right to your bank because, as rightfully so, many banks out there are afraid of all of their users and customers leaving banks to go to crypto and hold their funds elsewhere. They want to be able to custody those funds for you. So, Tom, do you think this is a pretty big, impactful partnership between MasterCard and Bakkt, and why?
Oh, dude, it's huge. A lot of you out there probably have already seen the BlockFi card. I got mine a long time ago. I'm loving it. Getting cash back in sats, just imagine this on a large scale. Certainly won't be 100% of credit card transactions, but even if it's 1%, imagine the amount of settlement that would have to be done at the end of every month. How much Bitcoin, getting cash back in Bitcoin, how much has to be bought at the end of every month to cover even a fraction of credit card transactions? It's seamless. It's my mom could use it and she would be fine. You don't have to interact with the wallet. It's just direct deposit crypto as a cashback. And that's bringing it to tens, potentially thousands of retailers out there. I think this is huge news. I don't think this is a moon right now news, but I think that this is just going to keep expanding. We're going to see more seamless integration of crypto, especially with our traditional finance system we got going on here.
Yeah, and it's going to work with Bitcoin wallets, credit cards, debit cards, and pretty much anything MasterCard supports. Now we've got, Visa has already stated they're coming into crypto. Now we've got MasterCard, two of the biggest ones here in the United States that process almost, like I said, the majority of the transactions, as Tom alluded to, it's going to be millions and millions. I think they have like 2.8 million users. We saw Bakkt's stock go up. I think they said up as much as 100. It was 50% this morning, 100%.
180% right now,
180% now. So it just keeps going up as this news circulates out. And you said something there, Tom, that was pretty good. You said this may not be a huge pump news now, but it's definitely a fundamental shift in the space. So, Ben, can you speak to that a little bit about how we may not see the results of this immediately, but as time goes on and it starts getting in front of more and more users and makes it easier for entry for people that may not want to do all that extra steps and that extra work, how can this be an impact long term?
Yeah, I mean, overall, and I know this because several years ago I used to do these videos where I go and talk to people on the street. Your average person would prefer it to be in their bank. The average person would prefer an easy place where they have everything stored. They don't want to have to move crypto or fiat in and out of their bank accounts. They want it all to be done inside of their bank accounts. I remember trying to offer free Bitcoin to a guy, and he said, no, actually I'd rather not, because I just rather keep everything in my bank account. And since I can't put it in my bank account, I don't want to download a wallet. I don't want free Bitcoin. I was trying to get $50 in Bitcoin. Now that would have been back in 2018. So yeah, or 2019. So you got to do the math on that. So, I know there's certainly people out there that want it easy, but I think institutions are a great example of something that started coming in. It seemed like at first when the institutions came in with the CBOE futures in 2018 that in December of 17, that they crashed the market. They didn't really crash the market. The market was just overheated. Anything that came out at that time was going to push the market down, right? So at first it looked like they had a big influence on the market, but they didn't really, okay? Now we fast forward 4 years and we look at how much pull institutions have in crypto and how they're really driving the price. It just kind of happened slowly but surely over, month after month, year after year. And now where we have been talking about institutions back in 2017, now they're all here. Now you can argue whether that's a good thing or not, but there's no confusion. They have a gigantic impact on crypto. This is kind of the same thing. Over time, this is going to have a huge effect on crypto. It's going to slowly begin to, onboard new users who want the ease and convenience of banks, which, maybe want to pull my hair out. I have a lot.
Yeah. Well, never mind. You're welcome. So I was going to ask Wendy on this one. Do you think, we're seeing Visa doing this, MasterCard doing this. Obviously, they're working hand in hand with the banks, as Ben just alluded to. Do you think, as being digital payment processors or non-cash payment processors, do they have a vested interest to seeing a full move to CBDCs or all digital transactions so they can process even more? Do you think this is part of that at all?
I think that it's a smart business move, because if they do not act now, there's going to be another processor that's going to come in, or maybe even someone from the crypto industry that's going to say, hey, we can do everything that Visa and MasterCard can do, but we can do it better. And we can also facilitate your United States digital dollars or whatever it is. So I really do believe that it was a very smart business move. However, this news came out on a very interesting day. It also came out shortly after Janet Yellen stated something about taxing unrealized capital gains, which we talked about that on my show. I've made multiple TikToks kind of educating people about that. So follow the money here and pay attention to what's happening. We had very bullish news from MasterCard, but then we had very bullish news from Mommy Yellen. To me, something is coming. I don't know exactly what it is yet, but we do need to pay attention, and we do need to use our voices when we can.
Yeah.
Let's do something. What do you think?
I'm in. Let's call everyone.
Hold on. Hello.
I'm getting into crypto with FTX. You in?
I'm in. Who's that? It's not Brady. Okay. Girl, don't worry about it.
That's actually a really good point. We talked about that a little bit on our morning show as well with the unrealized gains. Do you feel like there's an ulterior motive there? Or you're saying you're not quite sure what it is, or do you think you kind of have a theory?
I don't necessarily have a theory yet. I do think that there is going to be some sort of motive. The media does not put any piece of information out without getting multiple approvals. And I know this is because when I was helping to push a story for the boxing gym to raise money, I contacted a lot of mainstream medias. And there were some medias that wanted to pick it up and others that didn't pick it up because it didn't fit with a particular narrative that they were spinning about a particular panorama. So when we get these news pieces that come out, please understand it's very exciting. We can be very excited. We can be happy about it, but kind of take a step back, check yourself and say, why is this news being released? What else is going on? And understand it. The United States digital dollar is coming, and I have a feeling that it will be a private blockchain to where we cannot see what everybody else is doing, and it's all going to be working together.
Yeah, well, that's a good point. It will be interesting to see how the private blockchains survive versus the open blockchains, and where things gravitate, big money versus retail money, and all those sorts of things. So, Tom, you alluded to, and I want to come back to you on this one, some of the rewards that come out of this partnership. Getting cash back rewards in Bitcoin. Do you think? What's the greater impact of that? Do you think it's going to put more buying pressure on Bitcoin, even though the supply is going down? Or do you think this will truly move us towards mass adoption in the sense that it's putting small amounts of crypto in the hands of millions of people just to at least pique their interest? Which one do you think is more significant?
Oh, man. Hard question. I think everybody out there who's watching should not be confused. Wendy's straight on here. This is not kind of a last second thing, as she said, about approvals, etc. The biggest blockchain patent holders, IBM, MasterCard. That might not be true anymore. At least it was in the last year or two. They've been working towards this for as long as we've been watching it. Most likely.
Microsoft, actually, another one that holds a lot of patents there.
Microsoft, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they do it because this is where they were aiming. They've been aiming for a long time here. Answer your question about the pressure on the market. I think it really is pretty much simple. People are getting cash back. They're getting a cash back in Bitcoin or whatever. That's buy pressure. At the end of the month, that company has to take those assets, settle up, exchange them for a limited amount of coins and kind of sprinkle them out towards all these people. I know personally people who didn't want to make that jump and put money into Bitcoin. And, whatever, we won't say anything about them. But they would be attracted to the idea of cash back. They see that the value of it increases. They just don't want to be caught as the idiot. They don't want to be embarrassed. Oh, I bought the top and I got wrecked. But if they could get cash back, I think that those people would jump on the train. That's going to create God knows how many more wallets, how many more people, even unknowingly interacting with Bitcoin itself. I think it's only read one way. It's great.
Yeah, no, I agree. It seems to be a major step in the right direction for crypto. Crypto Face, last question on this topic before we move on. Do you think this is a step moving us? I mean, I feel like we all kind of agree we're moving towards CBDCs very quickly. How long do you think it takes us to get to a fully cashless society, or most, let's say majority, let's say 95% or above cashless? What kind of time frame do you see that happening on? Do you think it's over 95% already, Tom? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I don't carry cash. But
well, I know I don't carry cash either, but I was curious to hear how long until we get to fully cashless society, in your opinion.
Oh man, that's a tough question. I don't think I could answer that. Cash plays an important role. The bigger the government gets, and the more digital tracking there is, and the more I'm scared of my bank and the IRS, or the IRS freezing my bank or whatever, the better cash sounds. Man, as far as the whole MasterCard thing, Wendy hit it pretty good. And man, I didn't even kind of connect the dot of getting some Bitcoin cash back, and then having unrealized gains or realized gains on your crypto is super, super dangerous for taxes, because you could make a bunch of money this year or look like you did, and then next year you get whacked and you lose it all, but you still owe the same taxes as if you had the money from last year. So I think that's a pretty steep trap that could be set. So, but yeah, it's a lot of people want the easy way where it's in their bank and they have it and all that. So you invite the devil to dance. Sometimes you can't be surprised if he's got two left feet. You know what I'm saying?
There you go. No, that's very true. I mean, we say we want this big money to come in. A lot of people saying they want institutional money to put the price up, but like you said, it's a double-edged sword. Institutional money gets in there. They like to take control of a lot of things. That's why they are institutional money. So, there could be definitely more happening here than what it seems like on the surface. I know we had some internal discussions here in the office today about Janet Yellen's comments and some of the maybe motives or some of the signals she could be putting out there to different people in the space that maybe control a lot of capital and may want to keep it in cash. I mean, there's a lot of, if any of that stuff actually goes through, it's going to get really, really interesting. So a lot to
there'll be ways to tiptoe. There'll be ways to tiptoe around it. Crypto's really good at responding to privacy stuff and being able to put certain assets in certain places. And so overall, I think it'll be good for all of us.
I think so too. Yeah, crypto, there's a reason it exists, and there's a reason it keeps getting better, and there's a reason it keeps beating the banks, because open tends to beat closed systems over time, every time. So it'll be interesting to see how it all progresses. But we're going to shift topics here to the last section. Is the Bitcoin rally over? We've seen a lot of people, now that we've hit all-time highs again, a lot of people trying to take profits or at least recapture their initial investment because they saw how quickly things can correct, especially new people that got involved in January. They saw the big run up. They saw it correct all the way back down to 29.30 in May. And now, another big run up. So those people that are nervous, they're pulling their money off the table. Some people are saying, it's topping out here. This is pretty much it. But then we've also got a lot of people saying there's a lot higher to run, 100. We're even hearing 200, 300, even higher numbers from some channels. So, Ben, what's your opinion on how much time is left, and is this the top for Bitcoin in this cycle?
No. It is not the top for Bitcoin. It's funny. It's amazing. Every time we hit a new high, or not necessarily hit a new high because we've only hit a new high once, but in the last few months. But every time we get close to another top, right? Like when we hit 53K, when we hit 58K, when we hit 60K, we hit 64K, 65, 60. I always get texts from people that are new to crypto people that I know, and they're like, was that it? Is that the top? Was that it? Oh my gosh, I missed it. Oh, what do I do? No, bro, chill out. The top is going to be $100,000. It's going to be coming here. CryptoFace is going to owe me $10,000. It's going to be coming in the
That
next.
goes to Wendy's charity of her choice.
Well, we'll see about that, Woody. We'll see about your choice of charity, and if I think it's the right charity to go to, we'll see.
Yeah,
I have
we're
to
see
approve
about
the charity of
everything.
your choice. Yeah,
Times
but it is
ticking.
going to go. It is going to go. You know what I mean? Like it is going to hit 100,000. There's the clock is ticking. Well, CryptoFace, we're going to hit it for sure here. So I'm not worried at all.
Man, I can't wait till January 1st. I can't wait till January 1st, January 2nd. It'll hit 100K.
You like giving money away?
You're in Hamburglar, and then we get 100K afterwards. It's gonna be a sweet fucking victory. Even boy. I've been trying to stay by I can't.
You look like the Hamburglar today. You know, you got a Hamburglar hat. You look like the top of a hamburger bun on top of a Benson. You know what I mean?
I'm taking this crypto on these. I'm getting it. I'm in guerrilla warfare. I go guerrilla warfare.
I see that.
Well, let's bring it.
Let's jungle, okay?
Let's pull it back.
So we're hitting $100,000. We're gonna be $100,000 probably November 30th through December 7th, sometime around that range. I'm probably that's when I'm looking to see when this top is, and then it's going to go down. So by the end of the year, it won't be at $100,000. I don't believe. Now all coins will continue to run for a little bit, but there's a top. There's when it's going to happen, and it's going to be in the fall. So that fits that qualification. And you know the momentum for Bitcoin is strong right now. You saw the futures ETF was not enough to get it done. And this, let me tell you this: the jump point where all of a sudden it gets manic, the hype gets manic, is going to be around $80,000. So that's when things are going to really start feeling. We're going to start feeling topish in the 80s, and then at the 100 it's going to top out.
Well, that's interesting. You mentioned the 80s. I've got this chart that they pulled up here that's kind of overlaying the current 2021 bull run to the 2017. Oh, you can't see these prices here. Let's see if we can adjust that. Nope. All right. Well, so over there on the right-hand side, it's pulling up to about $90,000 right here in the top right. You just can't see it's right off the screen here. This is the 2017 chart in the blue there, over price adjusted with the current one in July where we had the dip. It was much more straight up towards the end of the 2017 bull market. So a lot of people are saying we're still on track for a 2017 type run, which has us topping out right around 90,000 here. Plan B came out and predicted close to 63K at the end of October. Then he had a $98,000 number for the end of November. So CryptoFace, do you see that in the card? Do you see this playing out similarly to what we saw in 2017, or are you seeing something a little bit different in the charts?
Yeah. Forgive me for cursing too. I'm sorry about that.
It's all in good
Let me
fun.
share my screen real quick here and pull up Bitcoin. Are you able to see this?
Yes, we got it.
Right. So this is the mark right here for 100K by the end of the year, and you know, man, it can get there. The monthly's looking really good right now. We got nice heavy VWAP coming up, kind of a little inward curve, money flow stick, momentum right here. RSI's been cruising up for a long time, and so you know it can get there. It's going to be close. It's going to be close. But as far as like the whole 2017 thing, it kind of reminds me of it too, where like you know that early January 14th type of day. You know, something comes out and whacks it all down. Mixed time frames are kind of showing mixed things, but yeah, man, we'll see, man. I'm just trying to play it cool. We got a lot of different like resistances. So overall, I think Bitcoin is going to be volatile, and altcoins might have some really good runs right now. So there's going to be some. I'm going to try not to get married to my trades, married to my Bitcoin trades. Actually, closed the one you were talking about. I lost 30 grand on Bitcoin, made 50 on ETH, lost 5 on other coins. So I'm up like 15 grand for the day. But yeah, I'm gonna try not to be married to my trades, and try to get some of that altcoin money for sure. So it should be some fun trading. I think it's gonna be fun.
And Tom, are you seeing something similar? Do you think the RSI numbers are looking good, or are they getting up to kind of dangerous levels?
Oh man, the monthly looks great. For me, it's not if, it's when. When are we going? Makes no sense to me to stop here. You know, we get hit 65, then go to 67 end of the run. That doesn't fit anything we've ever seen. That's arguably like a margin of error. It's like not even 10%. 100K, I think you guys are aiming too low. Really, I think we're seeing higher. I would say, because timing is really hard to do. If not this week, I'd say by November 4th. Mystic or spooky, mysterious date. November 4th, we see a new
November 4th
all-time
for what?
high.
What? Oh, an
New
all-time high. Okay. New all-time.
By
And then
then,
where
I
do you
think things
see
will
it
get
peaking
spicy.
out? Where do you see it peaking out for this run?
Well, if we look at, a lot of people compared to 2017, if we take those same numbers, that shows us 100K is too low. If we just take the same growth from bottom to top, we went from $250 to 20,000. Now 3,100. We saw that back in 2018. Yeah, that same kind of math, those same percentage gains, you should be looking 2, 3, mid threes maybe. All-time highs. Historically, people have aimed too low.
So you guys both feel like once it
Bitcoin
gets into
bull
price,
runs, like it doesn't stop. I feel like this one, it could be like one of those runs where like it don't stop. You know what I'm saying? Everyone thinks that 100K is going to be the end, but it just like keeps going. Everyone's like, no, why did I get out? You know?
yeah, and
I think it's just like 10, just like we saw 10K. That's when people noticed. I think it's going to be the same at 100. Like that's the point where people are going to go, oh, there's a new decimal.
okay.
You're going to see a huge blow off top. Boom.
And so Ben, you're shaking your head no.
No, that's false. It will not. It could go upwards to 110 to 120 based on momentum of retail coming in the 80s, but it will be stopping. It will be going back down. It will not be going much over that. This idea of $300,000 Bitcoin is a pipe dream at this point. We had 3 months taken out of this bull run. If we'd stayed on the same trajectory, then it would have been possible. There's just not enough time left in this bull run, and that's not what these. I'm telling you guys, this is what is wanted by the people that matter. They wanted around 100,000, and there's nothing that look. What drives the price of Bitcoin? The institutions, people with big money. That's what's driving it right now. The retail is not even here right now. So, the retail investors, I think, what is it? Less than 10% of all the money in Bitcoin is retail. So do the math on that.
All right. Well, Wendy, I got another question for you on this topic. We've heard a lot from the boys, but I want to hear your opinion on when do you think this bull run is going to finish up? End of 2021 or sometime in 2022?
I want to say sometime in 2022. And the reason why we keep talking about comparing things to 2017. And as the boys were talking, I was looking at the chart a little bit. I do want to say I agree with Tom about the November 4th prediction approximately at that time. I went and copy pasted some candles, and it does check out if we continue balancing perfectly on the EMA with little dips down to the EMA 21. It looks absolutely beautiful. It's just like it's the pattern that we're seeing on the Bitcoin daily chart is like a beautiful staircase up to that song from Led Zeppelin, Stairway to Heaven. It's very, very beautiful. It runs up. But I do have to kind of agree with BitBoy, with Ben, because $100,000 Bitcoin is a lot of money. It is a lot of money. And yes, like CryptoFace is talking about money just keep pouring into the market and prices keep going up. And Tom said the same thing, because when you're referring to numbers and looking how zeros impact psychology, it is important to note. But I just, like today, I don't see us surpassing, like maybe 100, 110, but I don't really see us kind of surpassing that. I feel like the market might go into shock. But at the same time, we're in a very different time than we were in 2017. Very, very different time. And you all know what I'm talking about. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. All I know is I do have a lot of limit orders set to take profit. I will not be selling all of my crypto, but probably close to 50-60%. And if I sell a little bit too early, that's fine. But at the same time, I'm going to just vibe in stable coins and get that passive income as long as I can.
There you go. Just vibing in stable coins. I like that. CryptoFace, last question here for you before we wrap this up. We heard a lot of talk, regardless of if it goes to 100, 150, 200, 300, we've got a lot of big progression. We've got ETFs coming. We've got countries adopting Bitcoin, more wallets than we've ever had before. Obviously, we're at an all-time high right now with, hopes to go a lot higher. And then we all, I think, pretty much are talking about us going back into a bear market at some point. So in your opinion, how low can it go with this much adoption? I mean, traditional thought is retest previous all-time highs. Do you think that's feasible, or do you think there's just too much adoption now? The floor is going to be higher up next time around.
Well, did you know there was 26, probably even over 26 exchanges, including the whole Binance US thing, where it went down to like $8,000. So technically, the three amigos, the four horsemen of Bitcoin, nailed it from that one that we talked about. I would say, from the top, like just the standard 80, 90%, whatever the top ends up being, like it's possible. But, we don't really, things are different now. Like they're just keep printing money and patching this, putting patches on mortal wounds. And so, when things do give way, it could be 99%. So I don't know, man. If the top's 100K, then sure, maybe it can go to 10, 20K. If the top's $1 million, then it can go back down to 100,000. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
So basically, nothing's off the table. Bitcoin, obviously has shown it has a mind of its own. It can do all sorts of things and move both directions very quickly. So that's all we have time for today. It looks like CryptoFace, you are our winner with the top score. So you got 30 seconds to leave a parting message with the audience before we leave.
Well, can you hear me? Did I mute myself?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah, no, you're good.
Okay, good. We're going with Shiba at the end of the day, baby. Looking at the 6 hour, we got a nice VWAP coming back in here. I think I'm gonna pump in my last 1/3. I bought my first 1/3 when I was on this show. Later that same day, I said I would. I put my money where my mouth was or is now. I always try to do that, and caught this pump. So I'm gonna take another one, the 6 hour, the 8 hour. Last time I was here, it was the 12 hour. This one was coming up, and or was it this one? I don't remember. But at the end of the day, I'm taking it my last and throwing it in Shiba. So let's go, baby. Everyone can try to hate, but they ain't gonna get it, baby. Let's go. They're missing out. They're missing out.
Appreciate all the guests. It's always fun to do this show. We have a great time. You guys, please smash a like on the way out there. If you love Shiba, smash the like. If you love Bitcoin, smash the like. If you're just into crypto in any way, love any of these guests and this content we bring you guys, if you could help us by hitting that like button and going and checking out their channels when you have the chance. That's all we have time for today. TJ out.